Alright. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's me, Generic Pie, back with an episode of Peeping Tom Bombadil. This is a LOME edition of Peeping Tom Bombadil. And it's between Wind and Upward, which is exciting. Wind shared a game recently with me, maybe a month or two ago, and it was amazing. Really good game. I think it was against Vase. So this one is against Upward. Never had the pleasure of playing Upward. Hopefully I'll get to play them at some point. But yeah, let's dive into it, I guess. So, in this game, Wind was playing as the Free People. I'll refer to her as Werbs from now on for short. And Upward was playing as the Shadow. No one was separated, and we have the alternate Narya Gandalf. In terms of cards, we've got Help Unlooked For and Horn of Gondor, and Falcon from the Deep and Shadows Gather. So, some pretty interesting cards. I do find Shadows Gather, it's maybe my favorite card for the Shadow, but turn one, it's better to have it than to not have it, but I don't really like using it on turn one. So we'll see what happens anyway. Fellowship are good. A kind of a good and a bad roll. Well, depends what happens, you know. If the Fellowship's moved and revealed, great roll. And a rather less flattering roll for the Free People. They start by drawing a card. They draw into Grimbeorn/Scouts. Isengard go down. We get another card drawn. This time it's Spirit of Mordor. So two Scouts. Boy, oh boy. Saruman comes into play. Horn of Gondor's put onto the table. We get these guys joining up here in Moria, and the guys go to Gorgoroth. And the elves go down one. We get the Balrog brought into play, which moves down the elves and the dwarves. And the Fellowship move. This could be important. It's a 6. And it's a reveal. So I wonder what's going to be happening at the start of next turn. We'll see if they roll a muster, that is. So yep. Interesting enough start. Do they not get any corruption there? Anyway. So they decide to switch leaders. Leaders of Fellowship, which is interesting. So we've got Aragorn, which obviously makes it much easier to hide, but also then harder to kill the wizard. So okay, very eye heavy here, very eye heavy, and now very movement heavy for the Free People. So yeah, I suspect these will not all be used to move this turn by Wind. Yeah, wowza. And also, yeah, no, I did say no musters. Not a single muster there. That's also very awkward for the Shadow. So the Fellowship is flipped. Balrog die draws into a red tile. Fellowship moves. They hit again. This time they're not revealed, which is good news for the Free People. Falcon from the Deep is played. Ooh, who's going to die? Always a little bit dodgy to play Falcon from the Deep when Gandalf's still in there. But hey, you know, at the very least you're doing damage to the Free People. Okay, so they end up drawing Pippin, which is absolutely fine. And he goes on a merry little adventure, or Pippin little adventure, to Bree. The Fellowship move again. Oh, sorry, they flip even. Standard army movements, some good army shuffling, also pretty standard army movements. You've got the scouts, so this is always extra useful when you've got the scouts. And we get some movement towards both Lorien and, well, we'll see where this army decides to go. Gondor goes down one, and yeah, so they decide to head up towards the Dew line. On we go to turn number 3. This time we get the Black Captain commands and Madness and Horror. And we get King Brands and Axe and Bow for the Free People. So pretty fantastic to get King Brands when the Shadow are heading up towards the Dew line. Very useful draw. Oh, sorry. So they already had King Brands, and they have now drawn into range of the North. Okay, so even better. Now you've got like the 2 best cards for when the Shadow's coming up to the Dew line. Good, yes, very good Whirlwind. All right, so the eyes are coming thick and fast here for the shadow. 1 second, I'm just going to mute that. Right, so where were we? So yeah, we're on turn 3 and we're plus 4 eyes. Only rolled 1 H and we've rolled 7 eyes. Holy mackerel. And then you get this beautiful roll of 3 more Palantirs. Man, oh man. All right, so the Fellowship move again. They are at least getting, well, I was going to say they're getting some movement going, but they keep getting hit. To probably, yeah, only the 4 successful hunts. This time they kill the wizard, which is good. And now we get this this hound dog to sniff the bums of the hobbits and make their life rather awkward. Gandalf very quickly returns on his fateful steed, Shadowfax, and another red tile goes in. So is that 2 red tiles in the pool? Okay, no, just the 1. Only drawn the 1 red tile. I thought they'd drawn 2 cards. The Balrog is flipped. It's activated, ready to cause chaos and destroy the lives of the elven kind. We get an elf fellow goes into Erebor, and these fellows also go into Helm's Deep. Candles of Corpses is played. Is this going to be brutal as well? No. Okay, just the 1. But they obviously do get to draw, so they draw into Nazgul Search. That's going to slow them down. Elven Cloak goes in, and we get Nazgul Search used right away. Sometimes I like to hold on to that, but when you've got a Palantir and you need to play a card this turn, nothing else looks like a particularly obvious play this turn. So yeah, sure, play Nazgul Search right away, slow these hobbits down. Okay, they decide not to do that, and instead just to move them. Now we get King Brandsman's played. Lovely. Draw into Book of Mizarble. Okay. And then they do the Nazgul Search. All right. Which also allows the Hound Fiend to follow them along. And we also move Nazgul around. So, yep. Move Nazgul from Minas Morgul to South Ravanian. Okay. And okay, sure. Right, we go on to turn 4. Very, very heavily overdrawn shadow here. Draw into Ologhai and Warm with Sorrow and Toil. And the 3 people draw into The Eagles Are Coming and Dane Ironfoot's Guard. What do you get rid of here? Maybe the Eagles Are Coming. They get rid of Dreadful Spells and Ologhai over here. So, yep. So 2 decent cards. That's quite painful. And yes, the Eagles Are Coming is the one they go for. 1 eye in the hunt. And so, okay, finally a good roll for the shadow. Well, they are going to lose a die here. And we get a not so hot roll for the 3 people. Yeah, not beautiful. I mean, I guess you can make some good use of those Palantirs. So yeah, but up against this many attacks, you could really do with maybe at least 1 muster would be handy, because the elves are just about to get put under siege all over the place. All right, so the Fellowship is flipped. Warmest on Toil is put on the board. Always hate to see that as the 3 people. Not going to have an easy stopping off point if they do want to get rid of it. Princess Fun Game, yeah. Yes, I don't think she means that. So the Fellowship move again. It's a double 1, Snake Eyes, and then they're missed on the 5 on the reroll. The inevitable march of the Force of Evil to destroy the Force of Good continues. And they decide to go around. Interesting. Okay, are they going to go straight for the dwarves here? Don't see that too often, but yeah, I think that would be quite interesting, actually. Never seen anyone go all the way around. Go doop, 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 take on Erebor, and then go for the elves. When you got this many attacks, The one thing the Shadow doesn't know is that the three people have Dane Iron Puts guard, because this army could take this army potentially without Dane. With Dane, I think it's very unlikely. Decide to go for Lorien, put them under siege. Okay. Oh, okay, so Sauron wasn't actually at war yet. Guess. Range of the North is played. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this one goes down. One hit. And suddenly Dale is super buffed, so that's very painful for the Shadow. And we've got the two mustering cards both into Dale. The sneak around to Erebor continues, and the Southron start to make their way to support them as well. No, they don't. Change of plan. Instead, decide to try and take down the elves this turn. Maybe concerned about a power too great. Get a desperate battle into an advantageous position. So nice card play from the free people. 3 hits. Not bad, and just the one back, so that's not pretty for the elves. No card, no card. 1 hit, almost there. 1 hit back. Get a press. Surely that's the end of Lorien. Yes, yes it is. But they do get 1 more hit, which brings this army down to 7. Still a fairly meaty army. Could go on and go somewhere else, perhaps down south. And the Fellowship moves again. They are missed, so slightly better luck for the Fellowship at this point. And now this army heads up, which does now activate the and move down the dwarves plus Dane. And with the final move of the turn, the barrel comes out to play to make the life of these hobbits even more miserable. And other Nazgul head over to Iron Hills to help the oh god, that's a horrible looking Jew line. That's a really, really nice. The one place you want to get to, ideally, is is hidden, and now the elves are at war, so this can be mustered as well. So ain't looking pretty for upward here. On to turn 5, but having said that, ain't looking pretty for the hobbits over here either. We get a day without Dawn and a Wormtongue, probably a soon to be discarded Wormtongue, and a Mirror of Galadriel, and a Power Too Great. So yeah, nice move taking out Lorien while you had the chance. The Fellowship can sneak away to Carrick though, so they are just out of reach of the Balrog. But the Hound follows them. Oh, okay. I've never seen this done before because they've gone. Is that because they've gone through the Balrog? So instead, they decide not to declare. That's interesting because of the way this particular territory is shaped. There's no way around it. So by putting the Balrog there, you're creating just like a pain barrier. That's a really, really nice play, actually. Yeah, this is the kind of thing, because I don't play very much Loam. I've never seen that done before, but that's really cool. Excellent play. The will is then used to kill said Balrog, so yeah, he gets struck down by some kind of powerful forces of good. I don't know, trips into a stream that's full of, clear running water from the elves and just, cannot take the how nice it is and just drowns or something. So Wormtongue is played. Okay, interesting. I was very wrong. That was not discarded. So I'm guessing this is going to be a turn where we go full on take down Rohan, perhaps. The Fellowship moves. They are missed. So yeah, definitely better luck for the hobbits at the moment, especially now that pesky Balrog's out of the way. Southlands and Eastlings go down. Rise of Theoden is drawn, and Gothmog comes into play. So yeah, I wonder what the Shadow's thinking here. Playing the Wormtongue makes me think something's going to happen with with this, but still a way away. This army is nowhere near big enough, and this army is also nowhere near big enough. So it's going to be pretty slow going for the Shadow here. Shelob goes into the pool. But they are allowed to draw into another card, draw into Law of the Elven Rings. And our good old friend Elrond Hubbard comes into Rivendell. These armies combine. And Power to Great is put on the board to protect Rivendell, I suppose. Just to make Rivendell safe forever. And, well, not forever, but for a while. Erebor's put under siege. I guess that could be when you could play the Shadows Gather. Well, it's only 2 moves. Doesn't feel like a great use of Shadows Gather. But maybe you treat it like a Shadow Lengthens if they do want to buff this up after Erebor's, after the army is weakened. Go on turn 6. Challenge of the King is drawn. That is the last battle. And we get a Ring Racer Abroad and Denthal's Folly for the Shadow. Law of the Elven Rings is destroyed. And we also get a Challenge of the King is discarded as well. Cool. Okay, change of plan. Undoes the discarding of Challenge of the King and instead decides to discard... Oh, sorry. Okay, no, that's okay. They had to undo one to undo the other. Instead gets rid of Denethor's Folly and Balrog of Moria. Yeah, I mean, Balrog of Moria is literally a completely useless card at this point. So yeah, you definitely want to get rid of that instead. And Denethor's Folly also not particularly useful right now. So yeah, probably better to keep Lord of the Elven Rings. Going to just double check this. Okay, all good. All right, what just happened here? So, Fellowship is flipped. Matey Boy comes and joins them again. Such a lovely chap, so persistent. The eyes are also back in town. A whole lot of eyes and a pretty weak roll from the Shadow. Not a lot going on here. Palantirs and Seas. Boo. A rather stronger roll for the free people. We start off with some mustering in both Rivendell and the Woodland Realm. Interesting. So is this kind of playing the long game? Is there much concern about this getting attacked, or are there other thoughts? I'm curious. Or they just, I guess that's the only place that you can muster right now. So if you don't want to over muster in one location, then you put a single here, you put a single here, and then it means you still have plenty of elves in reserve to potentially put in wherever you need to put them. So yeah, maybe thinking about the long game there. We get a our number 3 is put into the pool, and we also then draw into Captain of Despair. Cool. Uses this to play Riders of Theoden to get some guys into Edoras. And we now play Captain of Despair. So yeah, drawing into Isles Bane. So really, my God, we're on turn 6, and they've got halfway through the character deck. Compare that to the number of cards that the free people have drawn from their character deck. It's yeah, you know, spot the difference. So the Fellowship does continue its merry way. They've been battered and bruised, but not right now, considering how awful it was from getting from Rivendell to kind of High Pass / Goblin's Gate. Looking all right, looking okay now. And missed again. Nice. Will this Isildur's Bane change that? Oh, we get Smeagol. Smeagol comes to play. And they draw into Morgul Wound. Draws into a character card and draws Mithril Coat, which is great. However, Warm with Sorrow and Toil is on the table. Potentially blocked by Mirror of Galadriel and Power Too Great. But we'll see if that survives to Mordor. Draws a card, draws into Monster's Round / Desperate Battle. Upward kills the Lord of the Elven Rings for the second time. This time it decides to actually kill it, I presume. Uses the spare character, doesn't want to risk moving against 4 eyes second time, and moves this army to Western Met. Because, yeah, I don't know where else you could... I guess with your other... what would you do? Maybe move the Hobbit? Where else would you even do with that character dying? Decides to attack Fords of Eisen with this rather skimpy army. Interesting. Moves the Rohan down, no cards, and we get a Scouts. So then that moves this army together, which is kind of nice. Decides not to press, understandably. And then with the final move, gets a very lovely, perfectly buffed up Helm's Deep. And also conveniently gets a guy into Edoras. So that's worked out very nicely for the free people. Ring Racer Abroad is played. Where are they going? What are they doing? Are they just doing this to cycle cards? Okay, that's nice. Gets to move this army up here. Decides, yeah, okay, not saving the Shadows Gather. Fair enough. And still leaves one here to is that to kind of protect this from Rivendell, or is the plan longer term to build up an army and go for Rivendell? Don't like the look of that when Elrond's there. And a Powdered Greats in play. Ring of Mine and a Deadly Strife. So, God, this is the kind of one downside of having this, is you have to get so heavily overdrawn on cards, having to discard. They've already discarded some pretty strong cards this game, and they may have to discard some more here. Meanwhile, the free people draw into Aemir and the Grey Company. So I suppose Grey Company's going to go. Yep. As does Madness and Horror. Okay, so the free people have made it to Dale. A very safe Dale, which gets rid of Warmissor and Toil. Given they've just drawn into Mithril Coat and Sting, I think that makes an awful lot of sense. Dale is super buffed, so... will be interesting, and then obviously if the Shadow does try and attack into it to sit an army on top of the free people, then they can sneak away into Woodland Realm, make Woodland Realm borderline untakeable, or at the very least an absolute shit show for the Shadow. So all working out quite nicely. Bit slower for the free people, but where are the victory points coming from for the Shadow? Well, I don't really know, to be honest. This is already hard. This is hard. Nothing's happening here yet. And this is also hard. So yeah, really, really tricky for the Shadow here in this situation. But the Fellowship does have to play it safe. They do have a little meat shield Smeagol here. So in this situation, that's probably quite handy. But yeah, I think this is going to be quite an epic. They killed Shadows Gather! I'm not sure I can ever abide killing Shadows Gather. Although I don't see how you would use it in this game right now. Yeah, but still, I don't know if I would have got rid of Shadows Gather. Even just for the Moomer kill is almost as good as a Desperate Battle. So I think, yeah, I would have, if I had to get rid of something here, probably would have got rid of the Monsters Roused. Maybe a Day Without Dawn. Not sure. Wait a second. Okay, so I was a little bit rusty on the Loam rules there. I think in the games I've played as the free people, well, when I played of Loam in general, I've never had the free people declare into a stronghold. So I didn't know that Smeagol, actually instantly, basically, yeah, slithered away, if that was the case. So this is interesting. So yeah, Smeagy's gone. The Hound has followed, and We Shall Get It is on the table. Warmissor and Toil is now played. Oh yeah, he plays upwards, says Warmissor and Toil. Then obviously it's not the case because it's been discarded because they're in Dale, which was the whole point of them going to Dale in the first place. All right, so we get another not very exciting roll for the Shadow. Let's have a look at the dice here, see how we're doing. We can't look at these dice, but we can see very, very high on eyes and low on musters for the Shadow. Generally, okay, not too crazy. Only 2 down on attacks overall. And meanwhile, a very average game for the free people in terms of action dice. And the Fellowship moves. They are missed all their hits with the reroll. It's a 3. Gonna see random. Yep. And it's Strider. Okay. Joy of joys. I think the last 3 games I've played as 3 people, the first random has been Strider. Yeah, it hurts, but at least it's for a 3. Now, oh my god. Red tile goes in there. So let's have a look at this hunt used. Boy oh boy. By the time the Fellowship does make it to Mordor, this is going to be one hell of a pull. So as a free people, you kind of just got to pray that you don't hit too many tiles on the way there, or you have to get all the blue tiles in there as well, or you have to start thinking of alternate ways of winning the game. Because, yeah, if this pool gets teeny tiny, and it's just going to be a sea of eyes and red tiles, gonna be tricky. Gonna be tricky. And the league goes into Wooden Realm. Erebor is attacked. We get a strategy card against character card. Desperate Battle against Heroic Death. Nice. Not a single hit from Upward. That's incredibly unlucky. Meanwhile, only 1 hit back from Whirlwind. Also incredibly unlucky. So just horrendous dice from everybody there. The North are moved down by Whirlwind. And they've been activated because of the Fellowship. Yep. The Shadow Lengthens is drawn. I'm going to see that discarded as well. Hope not. We see some movement. Oh, hello. Hello. This army is now all combined into Dale. I'm very curious to see what happens here. Meanwhile, the Shadows combined up in Erebor. And combined in Umbar. Do they have Corsairs at this point? No, they do not. Erebor is attacked again. What do we get? A Mumakil against a Daylight. Just the 1 hit from Upward, so pretty horrific dice. And 4 hits back. Wow, okay, interesting. The North continues, so we're going to get the North down. Then we're going to see massive mustering in Dale, I presume. I think Whirlwind smells that they can do some damage here. Perhaps if this continues to go as horrifically badly, you could potentially create a mega army of Northmen, elves, and dwarfs, and go on some kind of amazing rampage. I'm in for amazing rampage. I'm definitely in for amazing rampage. Oops. Let me just get this just right. Upward. What was that? What just happened here? So combines again here, and also combines in Gorgoroth. The North are now fully at war. And the Shadow draws into Hill Trolls. Do they have any? Yeah, okay. So that can make this army last that bit longer. Could make it even more beefy. But Upward is going to need to start rolling well in combat. Otherwise, gonna be hard. Gonna be very hard. This is basically barely been touched so far. Turn 8, we get Kid and Ships, which is fantastic for the free people if they do need to defend Dalamroth. Also, there's another way. Meanwhile, we get Stormcrow and Breaking. Again, super overdrawn. Pain. I'm going to stop guessing what they're going to get rid of. So, Hill Trolls and Day Without Dawn. Again, too. I mean, Day Without Dawn, always, there's always a positive to getting rid of that because it still lurks in the background. But yeah, I'm very surprised to get rid of the Hill Trolls there. Very surprised. I suppose on the one hand, if the priority is corruption at this point, which it could very well be, I think that may well, has been mainly the priority up until now. You don't want to get rid of any of these guys. You're not going to get rid of Daily Strife, and a Great Host is strong. So yeah, okay, I can see the logic. But a change of plan, and they get okay. So they go to Lure the Ring. Lure the Ring isn't as good, I suppose. But I mean, having said that, still kills. Probably gets at least two free damage. or maybe one, but likely two. The mustering begins. Dale's attacked. All right, yeah, they want to nip this in the bud if they possibly can. Starts with the character card. Okay, so yeah, they're not necessarily prioritizing going for the corruption. This surely has to be breaking the dread and despair. Yeah. Forfeits 3 upwards. Now gets 2 6s, so better dice. Only the 1 from Wind. They press. Decide to thinking about staying. Okay, interesting. Decides to go on a little trip to Withered Heath. The character dice goes in here because of Captain Despair. North regular pops into the Woodland Realm. Okay, now they split the army in two. Half goes into Woodland Realm to protect it. Half is waiting here to potentially liberate Erebor. Attack. Oh my goodness, we're actually seeing Return to Valinor played for its card effect. Oh, I'm rubbing my hands together because this is like a solar eclipse or something. You don't see this very often. We're starting with the Grey Havens, people. It says nothing. We're starting to be moving on to Rivendell. It's is it just 6s? It's a nothing. Go to Woodland Realm. It's a nothing. And that, people, is why you don't use it for the card effect, apparently. So yeah, you'd expect at least one hit there, but ouch. Yeah, to lose a deadly strife for no hits there. One points has got to give you credit. First time in over 200 games I've seen that. Yeah, I think I've seen it played maybe once. But yeah, that is a thing of beauty. Thank you, Upwards. It's always awesome just to actually see stuff you don't see very often in these games. They then decide to attack into Withered Heath. So I wonder if part of the reason they go here is obviously you can threaten Erebor, but if they do, can they scout away? They can scout away, and then they're only one away from Carrick, where they can muster again, continue the annoying mustering. They decide to fight. They do no, they don't. Sorry, the scouts waste a great host. Beautiful. Decides to go. Okay, no, they're not going to go. They even need to. Yeah, go. They can keep muster here anyway. Okay, so making a mega army here. So just wasting a lot of the Shadow's time, really, which is always a good thing to do. We get some little bits of mustering here. So that's, where was it? One in Moria and one in Dol Guldur. That says to me, I am afraid of this attacking this. I need to make sure I'm at least somewhat covered. Amos on it. Aemond buffs this up some more. And potential, I wonder if there's a consideration, or can I have a go at Orthanc as well? How am I going to get my military victory points to win the game? At some point, I didn't notice we got a little leader here, so that makes this army movable with character dice, which is handy. And a single guy moves up here. Interesting. Erebor is attacked. Oh, yeah, so they're liberating. They're coming out of Erebor. They're doing a sortie. Nice one. Whirlwind gets the hit that she needs. The dwarves are back in the game and can now be mustered, potentially. No, they can't. Set put back under siege. I love that. Just pop one little guy there. Whoever that guy drew, that orc definitely drew the short straw. So you're gonna go there. So like, so what's there? There's like 1,000 angry dwarfs, and your tiny phalanx of troops are just gonna sit there on the. Just us? Yeah, just you. So this is a fun game. Guards of Citadel and Ents and Shadow of Dol Guldur, and we won't go back. The Fellowship is flipped. The Hound once again keeps following them. One eye is added. Exact same roll, apparently. The Fellowship moves straight away. That's like yeah, triple Snake Eyes. Some Nazgul mustering. Even more Nazgul mustering. More mustering. Okay, a split mustering of the north. How is the northern force pool looking? It's still got a couple of elites in there. Nice. This army combines. No, it doesn't. What's going on? Corsairs is drawn. Really getting through the cards here for the Shadow. Really getting through the cards. Continued mustering for the north. There must be some kind of... There's a plan brewing here. Maybe they're thinking about going for Gundabad. Potentially. Yeah, you could potentially do even a pincer on Gundabad. You know, send some attack from here, some attack from here. Meanwhile, this army goes here. You're gonna need a lot of dice to do it. But that could be an option potentially. And this is one of the downsides of discard. They discarded a Hill Trolls and an Olokai, which, if it does come to free people military stuff, those are some of the strongest defensive cards to get yourself out of a fix if you don't roll any musters as the Shadow. What happens here? So they're undoing, not moving. Decides to move there. Right. Okay. There is another way it's played. Getting a move. Oh, not a move, sorry, just a healing. I guess they've got a very full hand. You've got to play something ideally, so you don't have to burn a strong card, too many strong cards. All the Nazgul fly over to... no, they don't. Another undo. Day Without Dawn is played just to kill that one die. Fair enough. And now we get all of the leadership moving over to here, presumably to play Shadow of Dol Guldur. Yeah, that's the idea. We go on to turn number 10. Now we've got Palantir of Orthanc and Orcs multiplying again, and for the free people, Bilbo's Song and Fearfire Foes. So starting to get, so we've just played There's Another Way. We've got Bilbo's Song and Mithril Coat and Sting, two of the best Mordor cards if it comes to that. The Fellowship is once again chase this guy. He is, yeah. That's the one downside of not hitting a single reveal tile, is he's just on you the whole game. The Fellowship moves. They are hit. One reveal. Hurrah! They're free. Morgul Wound is played. Ouchie! Up to 3 corruption. The Fellowship is flipped. Orcs Multiply again is played. Okay, so are we going to get some absolutely massive mustering here, with if they also presumably play Shadow of Dol Guldur. Okay, this army's coming here to join with this army to take down this army. Make one absolutely humongous army, perhaps. Well, they can't even make that too much bigger, but we'll see. Now we get Shadow of Dol Guldur. Great. Okay. So yeah, they see that this is going. Okay, yeah. This is presumably going to stay, and then after the fighting, then they can reinforce it with this army to keep it huge. This army comes here to just take away the mustering point. This army is also doing some sneaking. I wonder where it's going. Oh, we see a ring used. To do some switcheroos. Okay, so we've got 2 strong armies here, 2 evenly matched armies. They're making it so this is... Okay, yeah, so they decided to basically do a full split. This army's strong enough to now liberate the dwarves, they hope. Okay, having a big think completely undoes that. And instead makes this just huge. With a Heath, no card. Wait, I mean Western Mirkwood. Don't see Western Mirkwood attacked very often. That's one of those not often written in the text box. Western Mirkwood. Upward gets the hits to kill these 2 guys. Whirlwind doesn't get any hits back. The dagger goes into the box. Guards the Citadel is just played. The Gondorians are still not activated or at war, of course. This army pops down to hit. What happened there? Moves the North Elite from reinforcements. Okay, so mustering in the Shire. They now attack South Downs. Where is South? Okay, so this army is attacking South Downs. Cool. Yeah, I was just like, where even is South Downs? It's always fun when you have a game where there's just, battles take places when they don't normally, you don't normally see. So a shield wall trying to protect Pippin. Upward gets the one hit, so shield wall does nothing. Just the one hit back. They decide to stop, and we go on to turn number 12. New powers rising, and the gates are closed. Could this be a game where we get through the entire Shadow deck? And we get 3 Rings to the Elven Kings and Kindred. Lots of eyes rolled, so not a great roll for the Shadow. And a better roll for the 3 people. 3 people go for presumably the 1 movement this turn. They're really hit. It's 2. Gimli dies. The gates are closed. Is put on to. Wait, what happened there? Cool. Okay, so this guy starts heading over here, and these guys start heading up here. New Powers Rising is played, mustering all across here. So, okay, so they're protecting the western lands. Shire is buffed up. This army is super buffed. So, basically, Wirbelwind is battling down the hatches and just making everywhere super difficult and awkward to take. You know she's got kill and ships up sleeve with the final 2. So perfectly numbered to get this fully buffed. There's loads of elites here. This is looking really strong. And even this, if you get the north buffed up here, even Greyhaven. Oh yeah, you've even got spare dwarves to muster to protect Greyhavens if you need to. So just nightmarish for the Shadow on a military level. So Carrick is taken, and this army moves up to combine in North Dunland. Dwarven Elite, yep, mustered in Ered Luin. Nice. Old Forest Road. Okay. Okay, so they're using the... okay, nice. Draws into Reprove the Swifter. Cruel Weather is played to get them back onto the hand. And Erebor is attacked. Once again, Sortie from Erebor against this one. This poor guy that's been sent to sit on them. A little bit of protection. They get the hit, and the advantageous position does its job. So that's absolutely ideal. Really nice. And it gives them a free muster at the start of next turn to get the final elite into here, just to make Erebor that much harder to take as well. So yeah, this is some great play by Wirbelwind, just using every little inch to cover all of the bases. Getting the Hobbit over to here, getting the extra elite into Erebor, I presume. So making it, they have just that extra bit of protection for when the awful slog of Mordor comes with every red tile in the world. Right, so we get Shadows of the Misty Mountains and Flocks. What does the free people get? They get Athalas and Path of the Woses. Right. Once again, they declare chased. 2 eyes go into the pool. Yep. Okay. Okay, so rather than getting the elite, they decide to get the leader in there. Still really nice. They decide not to go for Erebor with this, so that does mean they can also get an elite there if they want to. I think actually getting it's more effective to get the leader in than getting an extra elite initially. Alright, so they stay, naturally. They are terrible against no card. Pretty powerful. 4 hits. Pretty awful combat roll, followed by a much better reroll. So 3 hits, 4 versus 3. Keeps pressing. Stay, of course. Cause death versus no quarter. 2 hits versus 3 hits. Slightly better. Decides to stop. This army starts its march. No, it doesn't. This army starts its march instead. This army combines. Then we get the elite into Erebor. Nice. Erebor's attacked. They go into a siege. Loses 1 health. Athelas is played. This could be important. Just the 1, but that's average. Half-Orcs Goldman is drawn. Yeah, I was wondering about what happened with Gates. I was confused about Gates. If someone could explain to me what happened there, I'd be curious to know what happened with Gates. Why was it played and it didn't go onto the board? I'm just a bit confused. Anyway, so Orc Patrol is now drawn. Fellowship moves, slowly getting towards Mordor. They're hit. It's an eye. Okay, at least that keeps the force pool. Sorry, the hump. I mean, in a way, you kind of want to get eyes just so in Mordor there is more of a buffer against red tiles. So obviously, not nice to hit a 2 reveal, but it does decrease the chance of hitting a red in Mordor marginally. Legolas goes down. And here we get a mustering using Gothmog's ability. Right, and now we go on to turn number 13 of this epic. Lidless Eye, Many Kings of Mordor, and Faramir's Rangers, and an Ent card. No eyes added, so surely the Fellowship is going to get into Mordor this turn. Never going to get a chance better than this. Everything moves here, so they're going to go for the Corsairs this turn. One presumes. The Fellowship dodges. They have made it to Mordor, but an Orc Patrol. Is it going to be a reveal? It's a 1. Okay, that could be pretty big. Do they have anything else to throw at them? Obviously, this is when, you'd have to have held it for a long time. But that's when the Nazgul Search is absolutely perfect for these situations. But having said that, yeah, it's always a risk. If they get revealed going in there anyway, then it's useless. Oh, this is interesting. So, draw the 1. Wait, what happened there? Okay, yeah, so Boromir takes the... Wait, how did Boromir end up here? I'm a bit confused there. I didn't see a card get played to move Boromir from here. I thought it was just an Orc Patrol. Oh, is this some kind of alternate Boromir? Okay, what was it? Boromir, Captain General of Gondor. Okay. Right. So that's how that must have happened. Got it. And Power to Great is removed by getting rid of some cards. This army starts its march. They want to take Grey Havens. This army starts its march as well. Marching continues. They're going to combine and try and take down Helm's Deep, perhaps. Okay, now this is why Wirbelwind did all this hard, laid the groundwork earlier. So now this is super awkward. There's no leadership here. We've got, again, a real rainbow coalition of the elves, the dwarves, and the northern men potentially meeting up in Greyhaven. So you'd love to see it. So we see a ring used to do a hybrid. Changes the mind again. Teasing with the rings. Rohan goes down. This army... Again, how often does Harlingen ever get used? Apparently, it's a great way of circumventing a northern army in Tower Hills. Really quite a cool little move there. I wonder if the designer, they probably did have that in mind, in case of this kind of very, very unusual situation. But that's awesome. Probably, will you see the ring used now? Yes, we will. Awesome. Yeah, that's I mean, all great play. I don't think I even would have thought of it because it's just so odd. And there's that lovely little mountain range there to protect it from the Tower Hills attack. Boromir goes into Minas Tirith. This army changes its mind. Has it just given up? It's just like, nah, we've come this far. Screw it. No, let's just go back home. Now we get 3 rings played. They get the ring back. Beautiful. Exchanging Witch Kings. And then we go into turn number 14. So Wordwind says that was dumb, got carried away. Wonder what she's referring to as being dumb. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Right, Thranduil's Archers, and House of the Stewards, and Horde from the East and Nazgul Strike. The Fellowship is now in Mordor. Not the worst pool, not the best either. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, okay, so they didn't hit too many tiles on the way from Dale down to Morannon, so it could have been worse. There are some very nice tiles in there, well, 3, namely. Pretty much every other tile is some shade of bad. Some significantly worse than others. Yeah, definitely, I'd say on the scale of like Pleasantville to absolute pure death, it's more towards the pure death side. Probably like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Probably, I'd probably say an 8. Yeah, 8, maybe an 8.5. So the march begins. It's a 2 reveal. That's okay. Captain Spare is gone. Wordwind thinks. That's okay. Nice. Now Gollum is in charge. We get the mouth. Metal coat on the table. Beautiful. Corsairs is played. Now we still have a nice 2 elves that have been very patiently waiting. Very, very patiently waiting. Kill down ships. Armies move, or leadership moves. As the Stewards is played, which will allow some... I wonder if this is primarily to get some strategy cards to defend. To get 2 advantageous positions, which will they be useful? Only against the Deadly Strife, but could make a big difference against Deadly Strife. Sacks Edoras, no card. Absolutely destroys Edoras. 1 hit back. Now we get some mustering in Orthanc. This army combines to take down Helm's Deep. Pass. Helm's Deep's put under siege. 3 people high. Sorry, the Fellowship moves and hits a 3. So I presume we're going to get... There's no more character cards. So the Fellowship's been hit with everything. So the one saving grace, I suppose, for the 3 people in this situation is that you can happily use Gollum's ability without any fear of a Morgul wound or a anything, because they've all been thrown at you already. So there's nothing left. Right. Okay, I'm surprised they didn't reveal using Gollum there, given there's no character cards left. So what happened there? Used the ability to bring back the die, I presume. Maybe that's because there's simply so few eyes here. They're thinking, I'm never going to have a better go at it now than now, perhaps. Or they just think they don't have time. I guess if this goes down, that takes you up to 6. If this goes down, that takes you up to 8. Only need 2 more VPs. Pelegir and Shire, that's 10. So I'm guessing Wordwind's thinking, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I wasn't taking that into account. No time. No time. Gotta go. Got to go. Great host against advantageous position. Where are we attacking here? Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. This is Helm's Deep. Not good from Upward. Pretty poor rolls, unfortunately, for them. Good rolls for Wirbelwind. 4 hits. That will mean that the... Does that... Oh, yeah. Yep. Still gets the hit. Because for the Great Host, but still pretty brutal. Now we get a Valor. Just a 1 hit. No hits back, so Wirbelwind's excellent rolls are not continued. Now we've got a 6 HP against 8. The Hobbits move. It's an eye. To reveal. Well, this is going to be a tight finish. It's going to be a really tight finish. You've still got the Mithril and Bilbo's Song. So is it going to be enough? The 3 people draw into Wind from the West. And Red Arrow. Shadow draws, King is revealed. Can't draw any more character cards. No eyes added to the hunt, which is potentially great. Not a single red so far. Been dodging those reds. Also dodging the best tiles, hitting all the kind of medium tiles so far. Maybe it wasn't an 8.5. Maybe it was just a 7. Certainly feels that way at the moment. And the Fellowship is flipped. Upward draws a card. Wind from the West is played. That's nice. Really nice to get rid of We Shall Get It. Really handy. Grond is played. So that's going to be, could be a really nice takedown of Dolamarroth, potentially. Let's Assault. 3 hits. Not a bad start. No hits back. Round 2. Draws into an Onslaught. Plays the Deadly Strife. Is that going to be a straight wipeout? Only the 3 hits. But surely round 3 will finish it. No card, no card. Yep. And we're up to 6 victory points on turn 15. Gondor's finally at war. Mustering in Orthanc to help out here. Right. This army starts going for Peligir, and these armies start marching down. So that's 3 VPs. They're sitting right outside the Shire. Let me just have a check. Can the Shadow win this turn? They most certainly can. They most certainly can. So the way it's looking, 3 people are going to have to move, not get revealed. And having said that, though, this can always take back Dale at any moment. So the Shadow does actually need more than 4 victories. Well, having said that, then this can... Okay, then this can take back this. Interesting. I can't be bothered to figure out all the permutations and what order it's best to play in. I'm sure Wirbelwind and Upward were figuring this out in real time. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, of course. Oh, I hadn't really been thinking about this, but Power of Tom Bombadil. Return. Okay, so that's been there the whole time, is it? Is that why this hasn't attacked the Shire? I somehow totally missed that. But yeah, but nice. So that's why the Shire is still hanging on in there. Does the 3 people... Okay, so to get rid of this, they're going to have to get rid of Nazgul Strike and an army card. It is the same. Oh man, I wonder what cards the Shadow actually has left in the deck to be able to take the Shire. Yeah, there's been so much going on in this game. I didn't really clock that. Didn't really figure that one out. That'd be hilarious if there are any army cards left and the Shire is just staring down the barrel of these orcs, but is completely safe. Interesting. Okay, well, they did have Fighting Uruk-hai, which is an army card. They're going to use it, understandably, in Helm's Deep. 2 hits round 1, 3 hits back. Do they have any Ents? No. Round 2, no hits. 3 hits back. Ooh, this ain't looking good. Shield Wall Upwards dice, poor. 3 press, 5 versus 3. Onslaught. 1 hit. 3 hits back. Can't onslaught that, obviously. God, that sucks for the shadow. Very painful. That produces a ring to attack Erebor. Okay, they're pivoting. Oh yeah, of course they've also had this, so that's another source of potentially victory points as well. Yeah, not just Pelargir. They've got another stronghold they can take down potentially. Not much in the way of cards though. All right, so that is 2 hits against 3. Very buffed stronghold. Pelargir. Okay, they stop. Go for Pelargir. No card. Do you want a card? Yes. They play a card. They play a Scouts. Sneak away to Osgiliath. And take Pelargir. So now 3 points left for the Shadow. So got to finally take down this and get the cards to get Shire or take down Erebor. But yeah, any kind of combination of those 3 basically. The Fellowship moves with the final die of the turn, and it gets a 0, which gives the 3 people a real hope of winning the game, especially with Mithril Coat up their sleeve. Amazing. And what I suspect may be the final turn of the game, Shadows moving and Nazgul Strike, which is a perfect combination to get the Shire if they think they can take down, one of the other 2. Mad. Absolutely mad. The 3 people can take their time and play Bilbo's song. Nicely done. Takes them down to 6. They use those 2 to kill Bombadil. Safe path in the dark. Nice. Gets corruption down to 5 just to make things extra safe. Shire is attacked. Shire pressed. Up to 8 victory points. Here we go. Let's calculate the odds then after this absolutely monster of a game. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tiles. 40% chance of hitting a red. Somewhat balanced out by Mithril Coat. So you'd need 2 reds. That's the only way. That's the only way that Shadow can... Wait, what would a... Shell of 6... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, Shell of 6. And obviously you can heal 1. But that could be a situation whereby the 3 people could be forced to move again this turn. I think that's kind of the hope, a red into a Shelob 6. And it's an I, and it's GG. Wow, and deep breath. I must say, that was a hell of a game. And I think probably some of the best defensive 3 people play I've ever seen. Kind of across the board. The way that every base was covered. The just preempting it, preempting the attack here and getting all your ducks in a row early, getting this army across the rim early. Always keeping 2 back in Dol Amroth in the elves, like always very calculated, getting just enough in the Shire, but also just excellent muster management, if that's a phrase. But yeah, made it just so hard for the Shadow, and Upwards did everything they could to just keep going, using the Hound's ability to keep going through all the seed cards, got all the red tiles in there. I mean, I suppose the one way, the fact that not a single red tile was hit, that was very unfortunate for the Shadow. You think at least one of these would have come out, but pretty crazy. Yeah, well, not that crazy, but the fact that only 1 blue tile ever even went in there is slightly surprising. Only 1 was drawn, but wow, yeah. Thanks for sharing, Wind. Really interesting game. Saw some Loam stuff I hadn't really seen before. Yeah, and I think the more, I mean, as I said in previous games, I've played a bit of Loam, maybe like 10 games or so. But yeah, watching watching Loam played at this level. It's really interesting, and I think it makes me appreciate it even more. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Classic YouTuber stuff. Like and subscribe. If you've got any cool games, send them my way. Send me the passwords, please. And I'll do my best to make a video. But yeah, see you around. Thank you, and bye-bye.